All right, welcome back to the deep dive. We're diving into something pretty interesting today, a piece about self-expression and freedom, but, and here's the kicker, it involves poetry slam.
Poetry slam.
Yeah, you heard that right, poetry slam. So get ready, this could get a little weird.
Well, what strikes me right off the bat is how this stanza starts. It's like we're dropped right into this vivid, almost dreamlike description of a childhood bedroom.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. It's like they pulled that worn-out carpet and that broken bed straight from my own memory bank. Even those, those embarrassing posters you'd never admit to owning now.
It's almost like a Where's Waldo of repressed emotions, isn't it? But why start there?
Right. Why a childhood bedroom? Is there some deeper meaning here? Are we supposed to be, like, analyzing our inner child or something?
I think it's more about a feeling, you know?
Yeah.
A universal feeling, that sense of being trapped, limited, not just by an actual room, but by the expectations we carry, the routines we fall into, maybe even those past versions of ourselves we'd rather forget.
So, like, it's not really about the actual childhood bedroom.
Exactly. It's about feeling stuck. Like we're in this metaphorical jail cell we built ourselves, and we're looking for a way out.
Okay, I can see that. But, and this is where it gets even weirder, the piece then throws in, out of nowhere, Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, that Benjamin Franklin. And get this naked Benjamin Franklin doing his morning air baths.
What?
Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's more bizarre, the nudity or the fact that someone thought this was relevant to self-improvement.
Well, it certainly grabs your attention.
That it does.
But I think it's meant to be a bit of a jolt, you know? To challenge our assumptions about what self-expression even means.
So you're saying the key to unlocking my full potential is to stand naked in front of an open window every morning?
Hold off on that for now. I think it's more about the symbolism. Franklin's air baths, it's like a metaphor for exposing yourself. Not literally, of course, but emotionally.
Okay, I'm following. Being vulnerable. Letting people see the real you.
Right. It's about shedding those masks we wear, those walls we build up. What are we so afraid to show the world? What are we hiding from? Even from ourselves.
Deep stuff. But wait, there's more. The source then goes on to link this whole vulnerability thing to poetry slam. Poetry slam.
Poetry slam.
You know, where people get up on stage and spill their guts in rhyming verse. I mean, I get expressing yourself, but I'm not sure I'm ready to bare my soul while some teenager snaps their fingers in the background.
I understand the hesitation. But think about it. Poetry slam, at its core, it's all about raw, unfiltered expression.
So it's like the ultimate form of, what was it, shedding those masks you were talking about?
Exactly. Breaking free from those metaphorical rooms, confronting those uncomfortable truths we usually try to avoid.
Interesting. So it's not just about, being emotional on stage.
No, there's an element of control there, too. Crafting your story, choosing what you reveal and how you reveal it. It's about taking ownership of your narrative.
Okay, I'm starting to see it now. But the source mentions this thing about shocking the audience, like throwing in a twist in the poem to really shake things up. Isn't that a little, I don't know, manipulative, playing with people's emotions like that?
It can be, and that's where the ethics of self-expression come into play. Are you being manipulative, or are you trying to use that surprise to challenge people's thinking, make them connect with you on a deeper level?
I see. So it's about walking that fine line between being authentic and, well, being a jerk.
Exactly. And it's a line we'll keep exploring as we continue this deep dive. The line between empowering self-expression and, let's be honest, just messing with people's heads.
This is getting complicated. Maybe we should take a break and, let our listeners process all this.
Well,
all this Ben Franklin-inspired poetry, slam-infused wisdom.
Sounds like a plan. All right, so we were talking about poetry slam and using shock tactics, to connect with the audience. Does that resonate with you at all?
I gotta say, the closest I've come to a poetry slam is probably, like, accidentally rhyming in a work presentation. Not exactly Shakespeare.
I get it.
But I see what you mean about pushing those boundaries.
Yeah.
Making people think, maybe even a little uncomfortable, but ultimately getting them to face something real.
Exactly. It's about shaking things up, creating a space for that genuine connection. But, and we touched on this before, there's that danger of going too far, right?
Yeah, the whole manipulation thing.
Right. You don't want to be all shock value, no substance. Yeah. Like, how do we use these poetry master secrets, whatever they are, and not turn into, manipulative jerks?
That's the question, isn't it? Where's the line?
I think it comes down to intention. Why are you sharing this? What are you hoping to achieve? Are you trying to connect, to share something meaningful? Or is it just about getting a reaction, feeding your ego?
So it's about being self-aware. of both like the message and the impact.
Yeah, it's not enough to just be like, look at me, I'm so vulnerable. There has to be something genuine behind it.
Okay, intention, got it. But how do we actually do this? Is there like a formula for not being manipulative? Or is it more of a, a feeling?
It's a bit of both, I think. There are definitely things you can learn to, be a better communicator. Maybe that's what this Poetry Master book is about.
Right. Techniques and all that.
But even with all the techniques in the world, if your heart's not in the right place, it'll show.
You can't fake authenticity. It's like trying to pass off a store-bought pie as homemade. People can tell. So maybe self-expression, it's a skill. Like anything else. You can learn and improve, but it takes work.
Absolutely. And it's an ongoing thing, right? Not a one-time fix. It's a journey with, its ups and downs.
And detours. Don't forget the detour.
Lots of detours. But it's about the experience, the growth, the connections you make along the way.
And it's important to remember, there's no one right way to express yourself, right? What works for one person might be a total flop for someone else.
Mm-hmm. That's the beauty of it, right? Yeah. It's all about finding what's true for you, even if it's a little unconventional.
Love that. So how do we explore all these different ways of expressing ourselves? Where do we even begin?
I think the first step is just being open. Don't limit yourself. Try new things, experiment, see what sparks your interest, even if it seems a little silly at first.
Yeah, get out of that comfort zone.
Right. You might surprise yourself. Maybe it's poetry, maybe it's painting, maybe it's, I don't know, starting a blog about your cat. The important thing is to just keep exploring.
And having fun, right?
Of course. It's like we're back in that childhood bedroom, but this time we're not trapped. We have the freedom to choose.
And that's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been talking about all this self-expression stuff, but I haven't really talked about the scariest part, actually sharing it.
Oh, yeah.
Vulnerability is one thing, but putting yourself out there for others to judge, that's a whole other level of scary. What if people hate it?
It's definitely intimidating, but it can be incredibly rewarding, too.
Even if, like, your big poetry slam debut is a total bomb, at least you have the guts to get up there and try.
Exactly. And you never know who you might touch with your work. Maybe your story resonates with someone in a way you never imagined, even if it's just making someone laugh.
Yeah. So for all those listeners out there, the ones who are maybe a little afraid to share their work, what advice would you give them?
I'd say, first of all, be kind to yourself. It's okay to be nervous. It's normal. But don't let those feelings stop you.
Don't let fear win.
Exactly. Start small. Maybe share with a friend first, get some feedback. You don't have to, share everything with everyone right away. Find your community, build your confidence.
And the more you share, the easier it gets.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So it's not about perfection. It's about being brave, taking that leap.
And that bravery, that vulnerability, that's what connects us.
I think we just leveled up on this whole deep dive thing. It's not just self-expression. It's about human connection.
Using our voices to, share our stories, remind each other that we're not alone.
And it goes back to that childhood bedroom, right? We all have those walls we build up. But self-expression, it's how we break free.
It's taking those broken pieces and turning them into something beautiful, something powerful.
So it's not just about personal growth. It's about making a difference. But there's one thing we haven't talked about yet.
What's that?
This whole thing started with a piece promoting a book, The Poetry Master. Supposedly, it has all these secrets to unlocking powerful self-expression. We haven't read it, so, no guarantees.
Right. But the idea that we can learn to be better communicators, that's not new.
There are tons of resources out there.
Exactly. You don't have to figure it all out on your own.
So if you're feeling lost or need a little help, don't be afraid to look for it. And hey, maybe that Poetry Master book is the answer. Who knows?
And remember, there's no one right way. Try different things.
What's important is the journey, right?
Yeah.
Embrace the challenges, the victories, the whole messy, beautiful process. So from childhood bedrooms to self-discovery to the power of connection, this deep dive has been quite a ride. We hope you've learned something, maybe had a laugh, and been inspired to, embrace your own weirdness a little.
It's been a pleasure. But I want to leave our listeners with something to think about. We've talked about the how of self-expression.
Right, the techniques, the avoiding manipulation stuff.
But there's a deeper question. Why? Why this need to express ourselves in the first place? What is it about being human that makes us want to create, to share?
Whoa, okay, you're getting all philosophical on me now.
Just think about it. Why do we create? Is it to leave our mark? To say, hey, I was here?
It's like we're trying to make sense of the world through art, music, writing, all of it.
Exactly. Taking our experiences and shaping them into something new.
So it's not just self-expression, it's finding our place in the world, right? Leaving something behind.
And when we share that, we connect with others. It's like saying, this is what it means to be human.
And that connection, it's powerful. So to everyone out there, whether you're a seasoned artist or just starting out, don't be afraid to let your voice be heard.
Share your stories, your perspectives, even if it's about toothpaste.
Because the world needs your creativity, your passion. It's what makes life interesting.
Beautifully said. And on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive. It's been an adventure.
It has. Thanks to all our listeners for joining us. We hope you've been inspired to, explore your own self-expression.
And if you're looking for a more structured approach, check out Poetry Master. Poetry power in 7 days. Can't hurt, right?
Probably not. And no matter what, remember,
be creative.
This is Stefan, signing off.
We were just talking about those techniques, right? And not being manipulative.
Right. Trying to find that balance, not be that person.
Totally. But I think, and maybe this is getting a bit philosophical, but there's a deeper question here. Why do we even feel this need to express ourselves?
Ooh, okay. Getting deep now.
What is it about being human that makes us want to create? Share our experiences through art, music, writing, whatever it is.
Yeah. It is kind of a primal urge, isn't it? We just have to get it out somehow.
Right. Is it about leaving a mark, saying, I was here?
Yeah.
Making sense of the world?
I guess it's all of that, right? Trying to find our place.
And when we share those creations, it's like we're connecting with others on this deeper level, saying, hey, this is what it's like to be me, to be human.
And that's powerful stuff. So I guess what we're saying is, whether you're a seasoned artist or just starting out, don't be afraid to let your voice be heard.
Exactly. Share your stories, your passions, even if they're about something as mundane as toothpaste.
The world needs that, It's what makes life interesting. So to all our listeners out there, keep exploring, keep creating, keep connecting.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive. It's been quite the journey.
It has. Full of unexpected turns and, well, maybe we even learned a thing or two ourselves.
We did. So thanks to everyone for listening. And hey, if you're looking for some more guidance on this whole self-expression thing, maybe check out that Poetry Master book we mentioned.
Can't hurt, right? And remember, no matter what path you choose,
be creative.
This is Stefan signing off.